Gemini, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Gemini love reading. In today's reading, we are going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting one card to represent the shared energy that's affecting both of you here in May 2024. Then I'm going to get 3 cards for you, Gemini, 3 cards for your person. And then I'm going to clarify everything with a second deck, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. So let's get started. Let's get one card for what's the mutual point of interest between Gemini and their romantic person of interest here in May 2024. Okay, let's get 3 cards for you, Gemini. What's been going on? It's been a minute. Whoa. Oh, okay. You're ready to talk. I see. What's going on with your person, Gemini? What's going on with Gemini's romantic person of interest as it relates to Gemini and the connection between them? Not even letting me finish. You guys are ready to yak here. So let's see what we got going on there. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading is the 5 of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. This is sadness and remorse about the past. It's about really feeling some negative emotions about something, like sadness. It can be depression sometimes. It can just be like regrets about something, guilt about something. It's some form of like negative low vibrational energy that's being felt here. And it's mainly because of where the focus is being placed here. You can see this person is focused on these 3 cups of love that have been spilled. And that represents all the, the love and emotions that have been spilled and wasted. All the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. There are 2 upright cups still in the background behind the person, which means that there's still a connection that they can feel here. Could possibly sometimes even represent that there's still a choice between 2 different people in the background, and there's regrets tied to that. So take that part however it resonates for you. But this is about being focused on the past and then feeling what you felt in the past, or being focused on something that you've lost and feeling that loss, or focusing on something that you think is missing from your life and feeling that gap in your life. Usually not a pleasant energy to be in. I have an Ace of Pentacles right behind that. This is the seed of abundance. This is a new opportunity presenting itself. It's a physical, tangible, real world, like I can touch it type of an opportunity here. This has the potential to turn into the 10 of Pentacles, which would be like combining lives together, building a life together. It's not the 10 of Pentacles. It's something that has the potential to get there. All aces are opportunities, and they require you to grab this opportunity and do something with it. Otherwise, it's just empty potential. But we have some physical opportunity presenting itself here in the background behind sadness and remorse about the past. I think this has given me insight into what may have happened to cause the sadness and remorse and possible regrets and guilt. I have the Knight of Cups right behind that. Knights are action takers, and cups are about love and emotion. So this is actions toward love and emotions, moving forward with a romantic offer, a romantic gesture, trying to move forward with a love connection, advance it in some kind of a way here. It could be we have some regrets about the loss of the connection, and now there's an opportunity presenting itself to move forward with that. Or this could also be saying there's guilt and regrets and emotional loss because someone had an opportunity and they moved forward with it. That's the overall gist of what it looks like this reading is going to talk to me about. We'll probably come back to that more as we go along, just to see if we can get some more clarity. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way here in May 2024. It doesn't always affect you both the same way. Sometimes they do this and you feel the consequences, or vice versa. Sometimes they say or do something and you start to act or feel this way, or vice versa. Sometimes it's legitimately something external to the both of you, affecting you both. But the mutual point of interest for the 2 of you in May 2024, Gemini, is the 9 of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is one of the 2 singles energies in the deck, the other one being the 9 of Cups. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's central to your person's energy out here. This is about being physically single. It's a step backwards from the 10 of Pentacles, which we've alluded to already, about like combining lives together, building a life together. This is one step back from that. This is being independent, self-sufficient, like I'm prosperous in my own right. I don't need some external person to physically or financially take care of me. I can do all of that on my own. This doesn't always represent that someone wants to be single. Hell, it doesn't even always represent someone is single. Sometimes I get this card describing a person who's not single, but they just like to present themselves in the physical world as if they are. So let me clarify this and see what else we can find out. Why is the Nine of Pentacles a mutual point of interest between Gemini and their romantic person of interest in May 2024? Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Come here. I don't read reversals, and I got one that's here in reverse, and it's not letting me flip it, so I'm going to leave it that way and read it to you that way. On the bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. This is Gemini energy. This is fear, worry, and anxiety. This is thinking about something over and over again and not being able to shut your mind off about it, and thinking about something so much with all this fear and worry behind your thinking that it starts to cause physical stress. This is like mental anguish. This is sleepless nights, nightmares. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing. I can't eat. It's like my mind is all out of control on me here. The person on the card has their eyes covered. They don't want to face the situation that they're in because in their mind it's so bad that they don't even want to look at it. I have strength right behind that. This is a Leo Major Arcana card. Every time I see this card, it tells me that there's a very difficult situation happening right now, and it's requiring all of your internal strength to make it through this. You have the strength to make it through it. You're just being forced to dig down deep inside yourself and find it and tap into it and put it to use here. Another meaning that this card can mean is trying to tame this beast inside yourself, like trying to rein a piece of yourself in, hold a piece of yourself back, like not let a certain piece of yourself that maybe is some urge or some drive or some desire, not let that get the best of you, not let your emotions get the best of you and cause you to do something that might be some kind of a mistake. So sometimes that can be I'm trying to like resist this piece of myself. And then I have Nine of Pentacles right behind it. That is the card that I'm clarifying. This is a Virgo energy of being single, physically single. This is like looking like having a really hard time with accepting being single. It could be someone having a hard time containing themselves from presenting as if I'm single when I'm not. I have the Two of Swords right behind that. Libra energy of a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet. The person on the card is blindfolded, and sometimes that can mean they just don't have enough information to make the decision, which is why it hasn't been made yet. But sometimes that blindfold can represent someone having blinders on, as in there's something that they know is there. They just don't want to look at that. They don't want to see that. They're kind of in denial about it. And this idea of refusing to look at something that's there kind of prevents a decision from being made. So it's one of those two options directly related to being single or not and having a difficult time, and probably really there's some element of this that one of you isn't wanting to accept and look at. When I clarify this Nine of Pentacles, I get the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Hanged Man. Okay, this is not looking good here. I don't read reversals, so whenever one of them comes out upside down, I don't know, I may have done it when I was getting the original cards out. I normally don't notice it until I go to flip it right side up, and then it's like, whoa, hey, you're not supposed to do that. In the upright, this is, like I said, a physical opportunity presenting itself. We already saw that 2 cards deep in the overall energy here. Physical opportunity can mean a lot of things. A lot of times, with what I'm seeing here, it could represent someone having the physical opportunity to do something that maybe they shouldn't, and maybe they couldn't contain themselves on, and now they're worried it would come out. It could be that. This could be talking about, because it's in reverse, you're having some regrets and some emotional loss and focusing on what you don't have in terms of this connection anymore. And it looks like that physical opportunity is related to moving forward in love and emotions. Whether that's your person did something that they shouldn't have done and had a physical opportunity to do it, and it's upside down because that's what messed everything up. Or if you're looking for an opportunity to not be single anymore and make it through this, that opportunity is not, there's something wrong with it. There's a delay to it. There's something not quite right here. Eight of Cups is next. This is Pisces energy of emotionally detaching and physically detaching, physically walking away. I'm getting ahead of myself again, but it's like forcing me to. Very first card for your person is the same Eight of Cups. A lot of times I'll get this, like a person's walking away from 8 full cups of love, and they're doing that because they think that there's something better out there for them. So sometimes this is that energy of thinking the grass might be greener on the other side of the fence, and damn it, I got to go look and find out. Now, of course, they always find out the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. The fence has nothing to do with the green grass. The green grass happens because you water it and you nurture it and you pour something of yourself into it. So most of the time they find out, okay, it's not really all it was cracked up to be over there, so they try to come back. This can also sometimes be advice for you in that this person is only capable of giving you 8 full cups of love. That's the best they can do. So if you're looking for your 9 of Cups and your 10 of Cups, like that personal happiness and wish fulfillment, that happily ever after that we all want, you ain't going to find it with this person because 8 is the best they can do. And this is talking about recognizing that and not being afraid to look at that and blind yourself to it and choosing to go down a new path that can actually lead you to your own happiness and your own fulfillment and that happily ever after true love that you always wanted, because it ain't coming from here. Central to this, we have the 3 of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy of teamwork and collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. The thing that you're typically working together to build here is the 10 of Pentacles. Like I said, combining lives together, building a life together. This is laying the foundations of that. It's very interesting and odd even to have this, we're working together as equals to build the 10 of Pentacles, but there's 9 Pentacles here with it directly above this in the way it's laid on the table. This is single energy, independent. I'm taking care of it all myself. But there's this energy of someone is detached, probably from this idea of building together. Next, I have another 3. 3 of Swords is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. Now, the third energy is not always a romantic third party, although it absolutely can be, and it is a lot of times. But that third energy, like anything that we human beings do enough of, is eventually going to pick up its own energy. My work has its own energy at this point. Going to school, working too much, like distance, an addiction, like nosy friends, nosy family members, nosy neighbors or coworkers, like anything that's not you, Gemini, that's not your person could be that third energy. Hell, like partying too much, watching too much television, anything like that can cause a negative situation here. That heartbreak and sadness, I don't like the idea of 2 3s right in a row and someone having regrets and possible guilt about some physical opportunity and then worrying about holding myself back from being single. This is looking iffy here. This is looking iffy. This last clarifier for the 9 of Pentacles is the Hanged Man. This is Pisces energy of progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck. They're at a dead standstill. Not a fun spot to be stuck in, heartbreak and sadness. And it's very weird that heartbreak and sadness is tied to teamwork and building something together, except for the fact that some opportunity is upside down here and someone's disconnecting and walking away is what it looks like. That's the shared energy that's affecting both of you here in May 2024, Gemini. I will freely admit to you this doesn't make full sense to me yet. And it usually doesn't at this beginning stage of the reading. I come back to that again as I go through your energy, because then it'll make a lot more sense how it applies to you. I'll come back to this again as I go through your person's energy to see how it applies to them. That's the shared energy. Your energy in this connection, Gemini, your first card is the most important. You got the Hermit. Central to your energy is the Strength card that we already saw here. And your final card is the Hanged Man that we have also already seen here. So you've got one card that we haven't seen yet, and your person has one card that we haven't seen yet. So this has given me a lot more information than I realized, I think. This Hermit is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is a card of withdrawal and isolation. This is a lot of times communication shutting down completely. Like either we're not talking at all, and if we are, it's very different than it used to be here. This is also an energy of someone who has been forced inside themselves to do some soul searching or some deep inner reflection or some deep contemplation, trying to figure out what to do moving forward from here. This is usually about looking inside yourself at what is it about me that needs some adjustments made to it so that I can move forward the way that I want. Sometimes this can just indicate we're not talking, and sometimes even got ghosted here. Tell me about the Hermit, please. Why is the Hermit first card for Gemini? Okay. Come here. You and you. Man. These two are yelling at me again now. They both came out reversed. I flipped them right side up because I don't read reversals, but something's off with those energies. The bottom of the deck, I have the Sun. Leo Major Arcana energy. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony, abundance. Like, you really can't get a better card than that in a love reading, when that's what it's talking about. The other meaning to the Sun is this is the card that comes immediately following the Moon in the sequence of the Major Arcana. When the Moon's out, it's dark outside. You can't see the full path in front of you. Sometimes there's stuff going on that you can't see at all because it's dark. Things can be hidden in the dark that can represent secrets being kept. The Sun is the next step. So when the Sun comes out, it isn't dark anymore. And now all that stuff that was hidden in the dark gets the light shined on it and it gets exposed. So it could be either one of those two things. We could have something that got exposed, and that's put you in hermit mode. That could also just be you doing some deep soul searching related to happiness at this point, like powerful happiness. Like if you look at how our solar system is put together, the Sun's in the center and all the planets are in orbit around the Sun because it has all the gravity. So this can indicate that there's a lot of happiness for you tied to this person or to this connection, and there's a lot of gravity to it, which would be hard to escape it. I do have the Six of Cups behind it, Scorpio energy of the past. This is thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way things used to be between the two of us. This can represent a very deep emotional connection. It can represent that there's a history between the two of you, even a history of happiness. This can even represent that something from the past is coming back again, whether that's like an idea from the past or a pattern of behavior from the past or some problem that needed dealt with in the past, and now here it is showing its ugly head again. This can even represent a person from the past making some kind of a comeback. That's looking like what's going on here. I have the Empress right behind that. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant and she's always giving birth to something. So in a love reading, she represents the birth of something new, or sometimes even the rebirth of some connection here. So this would either be a new connection happening or the rebirth of an older connection from the past. Oh shit, I think that is what's going on, and that's why you're in hermit mode. This is talking to me about, yes, you have happiness tied to this and a history with this, but this is also someone from the past coming back and birthing something new, and that's getting exposed. This Page of Pentacles, pages are messengers, so this is news and messages and communications about this physical, tangible, real-world opportunity. I saw that 2 cards deep in the overall energy, and it was the first clarifier in the shared energy, and it came out reversed. So this is either something's wrong with this opportunity you want, or this is an opportunity that turned everything upside down in this connection. Yeah, after this page, we get the World. This is the last card of the Major Arcana. This is a completion energy. This is the completion of one cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Starting back over at the beginning. Not digging. So either they ghosted you and did this, or maybe you're not talking because they did this, and you're probably doing some soul searching because of this. When I clarify that, I get the High Priestess, the 10 of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. I got 2 completion energies here and a new beginning energy. And the High Priestess, this is she who knows. She sits in front of the veil of consciousness, so she has access to all the information that you and I as humans, we don't have access to. She sees everything. She knows everything. She doesn't always tell us everything, though. Sometimes there's stuff we don't need to know until it's time, at which point she clues you in through your intuition, through gut feelings, signs, synchronicities, a dream that has some kind of a message in it, some sort of an internal knowing. She clues us in that way. So she represents the unconscious mind. She represents your intuition. In a love reading, she can represent that this connection for you feels deeper than just something physical, and it feels deeper than just something emotional. It's a powerful connection for you. But this is really feeling like your intuition is talking to you. In fact, I'm going back to the Hermit. This is not an energy that people normally willingly and voluntarily go into. Something happens and it forces you into Hermit mode. The Tower collapses, or the 10 of Swords, or the 7 of Swords, or the 3 of Swords, or something happens and it puts you in Hermit mode, searching your soul. And that is when your intuition usually talks to you the loudest. It's where you're going in to look for your inner guidance. And there it is. This is feeling like you had a feeling something was up, even though there was probably no actual communication about that. Next, I have 10 of Pentacles. This is more Virgo energy. This is everyone's goal in the physical reality. This is maximum stability and abundance and prosperity. Like I said, it's the combining together of 2 people or 2 families and all of their assets and resources to build a life together. Both of these cards came out in reverse. Your intuition coming out in reverse would tell me that your intuition is still present. It's still here. It's just upside down, which means you're not listening to it. Or it told you something that you didn't want to be true. I did see 9 of Swords with your eyes covered. I don't want to see something. 2 of Swords with the blinders on because I don't want to see something. This is feeling like your intuition told you something that you did not want to be true, and you didn't listen to it because you were feeling like we've got this life that we're combining together. I get this for people when they're married. I get this for people when they live together, or when they're going down the path toward that kind of stuff, attempting to build a life together. And there's something off with that energy too. And it looks like it's because of this Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning in love and emotions. It doesn't have to be new beginning as in brand new person. I did see someone from the past here and rebirthing something. So this could just as easily be taking a cup that has been emptied out and filling it back up and starting over at square one in terms of love and emotions. I do have a third energy here that's tied to us working together to build something of value, which is this. This is feeling like you were actually with this person and going to the next level if you weren't already there, and this other thing shows back up. 10 of Wands is the final clarifier, Sagittarius energy. This is another completion energy. 10s are completions. I got 2 of them here. This is a heavy burden being carried. Like I said, it's a completion, so it's supposed to be the end of carrying the heavy burden. This is supposed to be the spot where you lay this burden down and move forward without it. It could just be saying that there is a heavy burden tied to this because a new cup showed up, and that could be the thing that put you in hermit mode. Central to your energy, Gemini, is the Strength card, which we've already seen, Leo Major Arcana. Very difficult situation you're going through. It's requiring all of your internal strength. You're probably not feeling so great emotionally right here, suffering from an emotional loss. This is like, if there's a piece of you that needs reined in right now, it's your focus. Because if you let your focus dictate to you what it's going to go to, it's going to go to stuff that's going to make you feel sad and make you feel lost. And that's not what you want to feel right now. Putting them in the wrong spot. Tell me about strength, please. Why is strength central to the energy for Gemini here in May 2024? On the bottom of the deck, we have Page of Swords. Pages are messengers, so this can be news messages and communicating, but this is also an energy of someone who's trying to learn something. They're trying to figure something out. Notice he's facing the past, looking back at the past here. I get this energy a lot when either you're researching something or trying to investigate something and snooping around, looking for answers, trying to figure something out. Maybe your intuition told you something that you don't want to believe, but now your mind is getting the better of you, and now I got to go check and see what's going on. Sometimes I'll get this. I mean, hell, what I'm doing right now qualifies as the Page of Swords because I'm nosying around in y'all's energy right here. So this would qualify that, snooping around, asking questions. I mean, even if you accidentally uncovered some information, like you're doing the laundry and something falls out of their pants pocket and you're like, oh shit, what's this? And it's a receipt or something like that to a motel room or something. This would be like uncovering something, learning something, or at least attempting to. It looks like what you're seeing here is the Nine of Pentacles, which is single energy. We've already seen it before. It's in the shared energy. It is the shared energy. Like I said, this is not always someone is single. It looks to me like you weren't single. 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. This is probably either uncovering that someone was presenting themselves as single when they weren't, or someone, this could even be an external person that knows both of you and they saw that behavior and came and told you about it. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but this is some element of information being discovered or figuring something out related to this idea of being single, whether or not someone was single. And I have 2 of Swords right behind it. Like I said, that blindfold can represent I don't have the information, but here that tells me that the information is there. So this is really feeling like I don't want that to be the information, so I'm not going to look at that. And I felt that from the High Priestess because it came out upside down. This is like your intuition told you something that you don't want to be true. That's what this really, really feels like. Also notice this is the 2 of the major arcana, which rules over the 2s of the 4 suits. So when it's between intuition and conscious mind, intuition is more powerful. When I clarify strength, first clarifier, strength. 7 of Pentacles, the Fool, and Temperance. Whenever I'm clarifying a card and I get the same card, that's the universe beating me over the head. Like, dude, I'm telling you, difficult situation requires a lot of strength. They have it. They're just being forced to find it and use it. Could also be, like I said, trying to rein yourself in, trying to hold yourself back from something. 7 of Pentacles is next, which is Taurus energy. This is a period of time for one of 2 reasons. Either to pause and take stock of this connection that you're in, take stock of the relationship or the situation, trying to look at these seeds that you've planted together and decide, is this ever going to turn into this 10 of Pentacles over here that I really want? Is this worth me continuing to invest all my time, effort, and energy into this? Or is this a spot where maybe it's not going to pan out the way I want and maybe I should just cut my losses and move on? So it could be that period of time where you're pausing to think about that kind of stuff. It could also be a period of time where you're waiting on something where you've already planted the seeds of it and it's just not fully developed yet. It hasn't fully grown. It's not fully mature and you can't harvest it yet. So you're waiting on something to kind of pan out here. It's sitting right beside the 10 of Pentacles. So it's looking like you're waiting on this combined together life thing to happen and also analyzing whether or not this is going to turn into what I want. Should I continue holding on here and trying to fight through this? The Fool is next. This is the first card of the major arcana. We already saw the last card, the World. This would be the new beginning to something. This is the very first card of the whole tarot deck, card 0. So yes, it represents a new beginning. It can also represent taking a leap of faith on something. It can even represent foolish behavior, risk-taking behavior, taking unnecessary risks or risks outside of the connection. That's laying right here beside this Ace of Cups on the table. So it's like jumping headfirst into a new cup of love while there's this element of waiting on this combining together lives thing to pan out, or trying to decide, is it going to? And then I have Temperance as the final clarifier for strength, the Sagittarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of patience. It's about blending two things together to make something new, but doing it little bits at a time, not all at once. And coming back to make fine-tuning type of adjustments, like recalibrating things and making adjustments and getting it just right. So it can be patience in that. This can also represent reconciliation, because in tarot, water represents love and emotions, and here the love has been separated into two different cups, and this angel is recombining it. So it can be reconciling, combining the love back together after there's been some sort of a separation. But I got two Sagittarius cards right beside each other here. A heavy burden that either you're being patient with, or could be a heavy burden in trying to recalibrate this and mix it back together after some foolish risk-taking new cup of love type crap happened. Final card for you, Gemini, is the Hermit. The Hanged Man. You got the Hermit out here as your first card. Like I said, this is progress being halted. We've already seen this in the shared energy. Things aren't moving the way you want them to. These two cards are really very similar in the sense that they're both about trying to figure out, what do I do moving forward from here? The Hanged Man is hanging upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different perspective than he normally would, different point of view than he would normally look at things from. And he's doing that because he's trying to figure out, why is this stuck and how do I get this unstuck so that I can move forward? The key difference here is in where the focus is aimed, and that's going back to this card right here. This is literally about whatever a person focuses on will dictate to them the emotions they experience. Well, here the focus is directed inside yourself. This is about looking at you for, what do I need to adjust about me so things move forward the way I want. This is about looking at things from a different perspective, and things are external to us. So this is like looking for, what outside of me has this stuck? What outside of me is stopping this from moving? What outside of me needs adjusted? So this would be viewing the problem as external, and sometimes it is external, which is why that shows up to tell me that. Sometimes the problem is also internal. So for example, you have some asshole that you're with that doesn't treat you right. Yes, that problem is external to you. They're an asshole, not you, them. But it is sometimes also internal, because we have some things inside of us that need adjusting. And until we adjust those things, we're going to continue to attract a new asshole wrapped in a different wrapper. And it's just going to happen over and over again. So there is an element here of a problem being external to you, but also internal to you. Like, for example, if your intuition told you something was wrong and you chose to ignore it, or chose to not believe it, or were in denial about it because you didn't want that to be true, that would indicate something inside that needs looked at. Why did you do that? What about you needs adjusted so that doesn't happen again? So I'm not trying to trigger you or cast blame or anything like that. I'm just kind of giving you some ideas of what that kind of stuff can indicate. Tell me more about the Hanged Man, please. Why is the Hanged Man here? Like, to me, all this is really about figuring out, what about me do I need to adjust so that things move forward the way I want them to. And I firmly believe that there's very little stuff that shows up in the external world without it first showing up in the internal world. Thoughts do become things, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Bottom of the deck here, Six of Cups again. So we have this element here of things being stuck because something from the past is coming back, or someone from the past is coming back. It could even indicate a history of progress halting here. If you two are broken up and you're wanting them back, then technically they would also be someone from your past. Even if you just broke up yesterday is still in the hell. 10 minutes ago is still in the past. So it could be an element of, I'm stuck on the past. It could be an element of something from the past has gotten this stuck. Right behind that Six of Cups, there's the Empress again, the birth of something new, or the rebirth of something. Now, again, I could take that as in someone from their past showed back up and now they're rebirthing a connection with them and that has things stuck. I could also take it as you're stuck on the past and trying to rebirth this past connection. This is feeling like they had some news and messages and communications about a physical, tangible, real-world opportunity to get with someone from the past and rebirth something. A physical opportunity can be as simple as, hey, I'm going to be at this hotel at this day at this time, and there's your physical opportunity presenting itself. Take that part however it resonates for you, but when I clarify the Hanged Man, I get Judgment, 5 of Cups again, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, King of Pentacles. That's odd too. 5, 6, 7, right in the center of all this. Judgment. This is another completion kind of an energy here. This is a final decision, passing a final verdict and judgment on something. In a love reading, that's either A, we're calling this dead and over and there's no coming back from it, so don't even bring it up. Or B, this is about reconciliation, resurrecting something, calling it back from the grave, trying to bring it back to life. I could take this a couple of ways too. I'm stuck on trying to resurrect this thing from the past and rebirth this thing from the past. It could also be everything stuck because this person from the past showed back up and there was a rebirth of a connection with them, and I'm resurrecting that connection and calling the one with you dead. And that's created a difficult situation, and you probably had a feeling something was up with that. Man. 5 of Cups is next. This is Scorpio energy. That's the overall energy of the whole reading. Sadness and remorse about the past. Regrets and loss, emotional loss. All the cups of love have been spilled. All this time, effort, and energy that's been wasted is sitting right beside a period of time where I've been waiting on this thing to pan out and turn into this combining our lives together thing. And it seems like that has been lost here. 6 of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy of balance. This is generosity. It's reciprocity. Like you scratch my back and I scratch your back. You take care of me. I take care of you. This is equal give and take. It can also represent the merchant, which would be your person in this case, giving to 2 people in the physical sense. That could be why there's loss here. It's sitting right beside the Fool, taking risks that are unnecessary or risks outside of the connection, going to some new cup of love or a cup of love that's being refilled and start back over with that. Next, I have some Leo energy with the 7 of Wands. This is a defensive energy. This is like defending a position on something, defending a stance on something, being willing to fight to protect something that's important to you, something that you desire, something that fight for the connection. Notice the oncoming external energy coming at this person and they're trying to defend against it, but they got caught off guard. They're wearing 2 different shoes here, so they weren't expecting this. Even though I think you had a clue about it, you still found yourself caught off guard. This could be your person is being very defensive about all of this stuff and ducking and dodging and bobbing and like pretending like I didn't do it and in denial about that and denying accusations, defending against accusations. This could be you're wanting to fight for this connection and get some reconciliation and blend it back together and balance it back out, and there's a big heavy burden tied to that. Because there's going to be, I'm reading these to you vertically in columns, but also in rows as I connect it together. And then we get to this last clarifier, which is in a row all by itself. King of Pentacles. This is either Virgo or Taurus energy. This is usually husband type energy, or this person that I'm building my life with. They're building their life with me, around me. This is usually like husband, father, provider type of an energy here. And if that's the case, you're fighting for that person, but in essence, you're also fighting against them, or they're fighting against you in some way. Scoot this over and get us a little bit more room here. That is your energy in this connection for May 2024, Gemini. And your person's energy. Their first card is their most important. They got the 8 of Cups. Central to their energy is the 9 of Cups. And their final card is the 6 of Wands. Eight of Cups is Pisces energy. Like I said, this is emotionally detaching, physically detaching and walking away, going off to see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. I'm walking away from this because I got to go see if there's something better out there, or maybe they're going off for their happiness and their wish fulfillment here. Typically, this person is walking away, going off in search of their 9th and their 10th cup. And I got their 9th cup coming up next, central to their energy. So let's clarify this 8 of Cups for Gemini's person, please. Why is the 8 of Cups their first card here in May 2024? Come on, please. Okay, thank you. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Swords. We've already seen that Gemini energy, fear, worry, anxiety, thinking about something so much with so much fear and worry behind the thinking that it becomes stressful. Again, getting drawn to the person covering their eyes with their hands. I get this a lot when they've done something they shouldn't have done, and now they're fearful and worried that that's going to come out. They could have fear and worry and anxiety tied to detaching and walking away. It could be money related even too. I have 8 of Pentacles behind that. That's more Virgo energy. This is an energy of work, like putting in the work, the time, effort, and energy on something to get what they want, or at least having the willingness to put that work in. It could be, I'm afraid you're going to find out what I'm working on. Even this card of work could indicate that the other person that I'm picking up on is someone that they work with or maybe used to work with. Like that 6 of Cups that I've seen, that person from the past. Doesn't always have to even be a person. It could be anything from the past. But even if it is a person from the past, that doesn't automatically mean it's an ex of theirs. It doesn't mean it's someone they used to be romantically with before you. It can just mean someone that they have some kind of a history with, someone that they have known before. I mean, someone you went to high school with would qualify as the 6 of Cups, even if you were never with them. Someone that you used to work with at a previous job would also count. So there's some element here of not seeing something or not wanting you to see something. I got the 2 of Swords there. Again, a decision that has to be made, only it's not being made for some reason. And I'm seeing that out here in the clarifiers for this detaching and walking away. When I clarify that 8 of Cups, I get the Ace of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Wands. The Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. It's the sword of victory, the sword of clarity. It's the sword you make decisions with. Like that word decision, the Latin word decision comes from, literally means to cut off. So when you've got these 2 options here and you can't choose between them, that's how a decision gets made. You cut one of those options off until there's only one option left, and ta-da, there's your decision. Son of a bitch, I didn't go far enough down. Right behind that 2 of Swords is the 9 of Pentacles again. That's single energy, or at least presenting myself as single in the physical world, even if I'm not. This is either like them making a decision to exit this and walk away, to detach and walk away. Possibly because they were afraid that something was going to come out. I've got the 2 of Pentacles next, which is Capricorn energy. Again, it's a 2. 2s are choices or decisions. This is a physical decision between these 2 physical things that I can't have both of at the same time. And now I'm weighing the pros and cons. I'm weighing the options in front of me, trying to decide, do I want this one or that one? Do I walk away or not? Like, what should I do here? And I'm 1 foot in and 1 foot out. The emotions in the background are all rough and choppy, so it's like off balance kind of an energy. Also, sometimes this is someone who's juggling 2 people in the physical sense, and there's a decision that has to be made there. And I get Queen of Swords next, which is Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. This is about speaking the truth on something, and then usually a difficult conversation, and then cutting off the thing or the person that isn't in my best interest anymore, cutting off that thing that's no longer serving me here. I get this a lot when there's the severing of a connection, and the sword that she uses to cut someone off is right here in this same column of energy. It's almost like there's this physical between two different people, you and this other person I have to choose between, and I'm severing this. And I'm going King of Wands with it when I do that. King of Wands is either Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what they want. They don't take no for an answer. This is like go-getter kind of an energy. Like, I'm going to find a way to get what I want, or I'm going to make a way to get what I want. They don't let obstacles stop them. It's also the pinnacle of the wand suit, and the wand is the phallic symbol of the deck, so it represents the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex, things of that nature. So it looks like their decision was not made from logic and reason or even emotions. They turned their emotions off, and it looks like their decision about who to get rid of here is based on the wand and following what that tells them. Central to their energy, Nine of Cups. This is a card of personal happiness and wish fulfillment. This is Pisces energy. It's a step backwards from the Ten of Cups that we all want, that happily ever after, that happy fairy tale love connection that we all dream about. This is a step backwards from that. Now, sometimes that can be great energy. That can be like, look, I don't need some external person to show up and make me whole. I don't need some external person to show up and make me happy or make me feel loved, because I do all that stuff for myself. All that comes from within, not from without. So this can be great energy in that sense. If you take that too far, this can be very smug and self-centered, and it's all me, myself, and I, and my own personal happiness is much more important to me than your happiness, for example. It's my own happiness is more important than what's best for us. So it can be that kind of an energy too. Tell me about this Nine of Cups, please. Why is the Nine of Cups central to Gemini's person? Beatrice, Lord have mercy. Oh. Wow. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. News, messages, and communications about some physical, tangible opportunity presenting itself. This is also a card that indicates someone planning for the future, but being at the early stages of that plan. It's not a fully developed, fully laid out plan. It's not fully mature yet. The page is the least of the court cards, not fully mature energy. It's communications about an opportunity to birth something new or rebirth something that they have some personal happiness tied to. Planning for a future of rebirthing something with someone from the past. Someone from the past has come back here. Three of Cups right behind that. This is Cancer energy. Yeah, this can be reconciliation for them. It could be being reunited and celebrating with someone from their past that they're birthing a new connection or rebirthing a connection with. It can also represent third-party love triangle, because there are 3 cups of love in the picture here. And this is all we're talking about, your person's wand and going after what they want in that regard, but then also getting to this like me, myself, and I type of an energy and personal jollies, so to speak. When I clarify that Nine of Cups, I get the World, 7 of Swords, 9 of Cups again, 7 of Cups, and the Tower. The World we've already seen, last card of the major arcana. I've got the Fool out here in your energy, the beginning. This is the end of the cycle between the two of you, and at the same time, the beginning of the next cycle where they start over at the Fool. In terms of zodiac signs, that's the 4 fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. But that's an ending of something, and at the same time, the beginning of something else. And I've got an Ace of Swords right beside it, the decision to cut something away. I don't think they made that decision in the right timing. Like, that's the decision you're supposed to make before you start some new relationship. You're supposed to exit the current one and then start the next one, not start the next one before you cut the first one away. 7 of Swords, Aquarius energy. Lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around behind your back, trying to get away with something. Can also represent leaving something behind, because he can only carry 5 of those 7 swords and he has to leave 2 behind. And again, 2 of Swords is that decision that needs made that hasn't been made yet. So I don't think at this stage they had actually decided to end it. They probably emotionally detached first and were not fully 100% on board with ending it, but we're 100% on board with what the wand is saying to do. So I got this sneaky deceptive behavior tied to, what do I do? Which one do I want? And even the idea of juggling 2 different people and being sneaky and deceptive about that. Next, I have the 9 of Cups again. That is the card I'm clarifying. So again, it's the universe beating me over the head like, dude, I'm telling you, this person's own personal happiness and wish fulfillment is the most important thing to them. And they're willing to sever things, sever relationships in order to get their happiness and what it is that they actually want. Damn. Next, I have 7 of Cups. Scorpio energy of options and choices and confusion about the options and choices. There's a lot of cups here. There's a lot of different ways this could play itself out, a lot of different things I could choose. And I don't want to pick the wrong cup and make some kind of a mistake that I regret later. So it can represent emotional confusion about what to do. The clouds of smoke can also represent clouded judgment, clouded decision making, intoxication, so being drunk or high and that messing with their ability to think straight. The 9 of Cups in and of itself can be a card of overindulgence or self-indulgence or alcoholism. So 2 cards in a row, that could indicate there's some sort of a intoxication issue going on. And that's also in the column with the 9 of Cups. So strong indicators that something like that could be going on in the background here. And the final clarifier for that 9 of Cups is the Tower. This is a foundation rocking event. This is the collapse of some important structure in their life. Usually this is the collapse of the relationship. Sometimes it's the collapse of a belief system, some mental model of the world they were operating from, like how they believed things were going to be, and then that shattered all around them. I don't know that so far the only thing in this row is that King of Pentacles that's on your side. So that's feeling like how you view them, or even the role that they played in your life, and that is coming apart now. Oh. This is not always a bad thing. Now, from your perspective, the collapse of this relationship probably feels like a bad thing. Or this is card 16 of the Major Arcana. And in numerology, you take double-digit numbers like 16, 1, and 6, and you add those together to make 7. 7's the number of the divine. So when a Tower happens, the first thing people normally do is like, why is this happening to me? But it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. This is like the universe or God or spirit or source or however you personally view that is probably giving you hints along the way that this isn't where you're supposed to be. This isn't what's actually for you, and it's time to move on. But we typically don't like to listen to that kind of a message, so we choose to stick it out anyway. Well, this is like they're kicking the tower down to give you no other option but to move on. This is being removed for you. It's just at the time a tower happens, it doesn't ever feel like that. It doesn't feel like it's happening for me until you've had enough time go by and have hindsight on it and can look back on it. Like I have a 24-year-old daughter. Her mother and I separated when she was 3. And at that time, that was a tower for me. That felt like devastation. That was the ending of my whole family, everything that I knew. And it wasn't until later on down the line, I was able to look back on that with some hindsight and see what had transpired in her mother's life and how that went for her and all the problems that came out of that. And then it was like, whew, thank God that relationship came apart, because I don't want anything like that for my life. And so at the time, it felt like, oh, this sucks worse than anything has ever sucked in the history of suckiness. But it turned out to be a great thing. And I think that's what's happening. For them, this tower is like everything changes, and yes, the relationship collapses, but I'm not convinced that this is a bad game changer for them. Because if you think about it, this is just like a game-changing thing where nothing's the same anymore. And hell, if you win the lottery tonight, that would be a tower. It would change everything. So it's feeling different for them. Six of Wands is their final card. This is Leo energy of recognition. Sometimes this is them recognizing something that allows forward movement to happen towards something that they want, successful forward movement. Sometimes this is just them getting recognized for something, as in like you figuring something out about them. Tell me more about the Six of Wands, please. Why is that here? I just had the moon flip over and show itself to me, but then go right back in the deck. It didn't come out. Some sort of a information you don't have, and I think that didn't come out because it's telling me that that's what got recognized. I think that's why the sun came out on your side, because it got exposed. Bottom of the deck here, Nine of Swords, Gemini energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. Like I said, people get this a lot when they've done something they're not supposed to do, and they're worried and fearful that that's going to come out, that they're going to get recognized for it. Eight of Pentacles, again, recognized for and fearful and worried about the work that I've been putting in. Could, like I said, though, could have some element to do with money and fearful and worried about being able to work to get the money that they need. I'm not sure which that is. It might be one way for you and a different way for the next person. Then there's that decision that needs made and hasn't been made. Oh, man. Again, this could be the stage where your intuition is freaking out and telling you what's going on, and your intuition recognized them, but it could be an element of you didn't want to see that. You didn't want that to be true. It could be that, but this could actually be them finally getting recognized. Yeah, that behind that Two of Swords is the Two of Cups for them. This is a love connection between two people. It's also a two, and twos represent choices. So this can be a choice about the connection with you. It could also be a choice between two different cups of love, and they weren't making a decision, and they were putting in work in both places and afraid that they were going to get recognized for that. That's what this is really looking like to me, because when I clarify that Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, again, Four of Swords, the Devil, Five of Swords. I got increasing sword energy here, like thoughts. I got that singles energy again. That's the shared energy affecting you both. This is like, yes, you guys are single now because they were acting single when they weren't. That is the thing that put an end to this connection and the beginning of some new thing. Four of Swords is next, Libra energy. I get this a lot when a person's in the Eight or the Nine of Swords, and this is like, fours are stability, and swords represent the thoughts or the conscious mind. So this is stabilizing the thoughts, stabilizing the mind, trying to calm down. It's about choosing to go inside and try to calm their thinking so they can figure out what to do moving forward. This can also represent taking a pause or taking a break. Could be that this was being presented as we're not actually broken up, we're just on a break right now, on a timeout. It could be that, but either way that goes, it's tied directly to lying and cheating and deceptive behavior and juggling two people here in the physical sense. Next clarifier for that Six of Wands is the Devil. This is Capricorn's major arcana card. This is usually heavy toxic energy. It can be obsession. It could be an addiction. I see a tower here with the Seven of Cups and Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. That could be I'm overindulging in some stuff I shouldn't be doing, and that could cause some sort of a problem later down the line for them. But this is toxic energy. This is a feeling of being trapped or feeling like something has control over me and I don't have control over it. Like, these are the same two people from the Lovers card. So that in and of itself tells me that this connection masquerades as the Lovers. It makes you feel like this is what I want, like this is this powerful connection, but it's not the same thing. It's distorted. And the people here are distorted because they've spent so much time in this distorted energy. They've grown horns and tails, so it changes who they are. But this is usually a toxic element to your person that they probably don't want to face themselves. They don't want to admit that it's there. They could be in denial about it, but it actually controls elements of their life. It's sitting right beside Nine of Cups, which can be a card about alcoholism or overindulgence or self-indulgence. And that's right beside this Queen of Swords, this cutting something off that's not in their best interest anymore, or much more feeling like that's not in alignment with what I want and what my drives are. And that energy is problematic, and that this could be someone who's a sex addict or someone who is just like really too much importance is placed on their wand and that sexual energy and things like that. Either way, that devil is also tied to the Five of Swords. Fives are conflict and change. We had one as the overall energy in that Five of Cups. This is either a communication conflict, like a big fight, an argument, words being used like weapons, or this is a betrayal of some kind. At its core, it's a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. It can even represent that your person has this winning at all costs mentality. Like, dude, I'm going to get what it is that I want no matter what the cost. I've got this thing driving me that I'm not in control of myself. So it's going to make me get what I want no matter what the cost. If you have to get hurt in order for me to get what I want, sorry about your luck, because I'm getting what I want no matter what. It's that kind of an energy. And it looks like a betrayal to me. And it's right here beside this Seven of Cups and the King of Wands. So I think you got betrayed in the passion, desire, sexual energy sense. And this could be them just blowing a smoke screen, trying to obscure your vision and make sure you can't see what's going on. And whenever I get that kind of a feeling and your intuition has already told you something. Remember, it came out upside down. So either you didn't listen to it or you didn't trust it, or it's telling you something you just flat ass don't want to be true. So you chose to ignore it. A lot of times that will be your intuition is telling you something. And now you're like, wait a minute. And they know you don't have facts on it. And they know it's just a feeling that you're having. So they try to cloud you up and make it so that you can't trust yourself. Make it so that you can't trust your own intuition, especially when we got a person who's toxic and totally willing to do whatever is necessary to get what they want. This is like the ends justifies the means. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Gemini love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.